Now that we know which type of animation the new Iron Karambit has, we have to make the comparison Iron Karambit versus the Reaver Karambit. We can also take the Champion's Karambit into account here, but the main focus is going to be between both of these knives. Now, many people are saying this, right? I feel like right now is trying to milk the Karambit animation a bit, which I personally, I love it. I'm not going to complain. I love playing Karambits. I think probably out of all the knives, this is the most satisfying one to use. So I'm definitely not going to complain here. Is it better than the Reaver Karambit? In like terms of design, animation, it doesn't matter too much because they share the same animation. They also share the same price, right? Both of these knives are scammed up just a little bit. They do cost 4,350 Valorant points, which is a bit more than both of their predecessors, the Oni Claw and the Reaver Karambit. They do cost 3,550 Valorant points. So they definitely, you know, up the price a bit here, which I don't, at this point, it is what it is. I think for what we get, this is definitely more justifiable than something like a Nebula knife, right? Both of these skins have, again, the same animation, so we are not going to look into that. It's an insane animation, one of the best ones in the game. Colorways, let's talk about that one. Reaver, in my opinion, one of the best colorways in the entirety of Valorant. The default colorway, the white, the black, and even the red one, which usually looks boring on the weapon skins, but on the knife, I feel like it definitely doesn't look boring. So every single colorway for the Reaver Karambit is, in my opinion, playable 100% without getting boring, without actually looking ugly. Always personal preference when we talk about colorways and design in general, but I think these colorways definitely are a 10 out of 10 all across the board. I do like how they look in comparison to the Iron Karambit, right? The Iron Karambit colorway is probably the biggest topic around the new Iron 2.0 skins. The colorway with this collection, they are decent. It's not the best colorway variants options that we have in this game. They are pretty decent, but in comparison, and I'm going to show you guys the examples again to what we could have gotten with these skins, the ones that we have right now are pretty mid in comparison, right? I feel like we had so many options that would look way better, especially on the knife. And if I had to choose with the 2.0 skins, with the knife, because that's like the main thing here, I'd probably still use the default one. I think the default colorway with the options that we have is still the cleanest one. Default iron looks great. Colorways are definitely an improvement here, but not the ones that we have right now, I feel like. So as far as colorways go, the Reaver Karambit definitely is way better in my opinion. Way more variety, way more usable colorways, I think, in comparison. If we talk about just the visual design of the knife, of the blade, I don't think the Iron Karambit looks as bad as people are saying. I definitely think it doesn't look nearly as clean and as good as the Reaver Karambit. Let's be real, I think just, you know, the blade design and the general visual design of the Reaver Karambit is the best in between all the Karambits that we have. It is a 10 out of 10. It's still my favorite Karambit. But in comparison, yeah, obviously, the Iron Karambit doesn't look as good, but it's still a decent knife. I don't think it's a bad knife in general. We have so many ugly looking knives in comparison that I could list you. Overall, I do like the visual design, just not as much as the Reaver Karambit. So just in general, if we just make the straight up comparison, Reaver, I feel like, is better in every single aspect. The Reaver Karambit definitely is the big winner here, and it's not even close. If we take the Champion's Karambit into account as well here and just talk about visual design, the Champion's Karambit definitely looks better in my opinion than the Iron Karambit. The Iron Karambit has more to offer in terms of value, right? Colorways, or the animations that we have on that one as well. On the, you know, left click, right click, we do have these slice animations, which I also do like. But in general, I still think if you have the Champion's Karambit or, you know, the Reaver Karambit now, I don't think if you don't necessarily need that knife, it's worth the upgrade, it's worth the buy, because we are probably still going to get more Karambits and probably even katanas, butterfly knives in the future. So I think if you have the Reaver Karambit again or the Champions, you are pretty good to go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.